Imagine a farmer standing on the corner of the field with a bag of seeds, trying to sow those seeds in the field. So if he's a good farmer, he would just sow the seeds very carefully, expecting a good harvest. And this is a hypothetical situation. Just imagine another farmer who has the same bag of seeds, but due to some reason, whether he is lazy or thinking something else, he does not sow the seeds at all. Or he just sow the seeds just halfway through, just half of the bag. And when the harvesting season comes, what do you think would happen? It's very obvious. The harvest that the farmer who sow the seeds in half gets half, or even less. And the farmer who sows the entire bag of good seeds would get a larger harvest. What does this tell us? This gives us the narrative difference of the rewards that we get in our life is directly related or is in exact proportion to the contributions that we make. It can be towards ourselves or the others. Hello everybody, welcome back to another video in our channel. My name is Sahitha, and today we are going to talk about the rewards that we get in our life. Well, if you look at the rewards, certain rewards we gain for ourselves by working for ourselves, and certain other rewards we would get for ourselves by working for the others. Well, we'll discuss both of these and see how we can reap those harvest or rewards by contributing in a very profound manner, in a way that gives us the rewards or the goals or the targets or the expectations that we have. Let's look at ourselves first. Imagine if you are a student. The rewards that you will be getting is in direct proportion to the contributions you make. If you are a student, your ultimate goal is to pass an exam or to get a certain grade in a subject, or in a broader sense, you want to master that particular subject. Well, you know that if you work towards that subject, if you study hard, if you practice, if you take a lot of exams before the final exam, or if you are so keen on the subject, you will get good marks. And the amount of marks or the amount of learning, the knowledge that you gain from the subjects is directly related to the contribution that you make. This can be seen everywhere. Just imagine you want to build a good body shape and you want to work out, you want to be fit. If the reward is being fit, being healthy, or building a very good body in good shape, it's related to the amount of work that you put into it, the contribution that you make towards yourself, towards the body. Whether you are sticking to your workout routine, your workout schedule, or whether you are going to the gym, and whether you are taking the right kind of food, avoiding very obese food, and then if you are maintaining a proper routine for yourself, avoiding harmful bad habits that would hinder your growth, you will be in good shape. That's the reward. But if you don't do it properly, if you just keep going to the gym, if you are so lethargic and lazy, so you don't do the workout properly, or you don't take good sleep, or you take a lot of fast food, oily food, and the food that would hinder your body growth, that would give you some reward proportional to the contribution that you made. But that's not the reward that you're expecting to. So it's very simple for us to understand that the rewards that we get is proportional to or in exact proportion to the contributions we make. That contribution can be the working, the learning, or the effort that you put. This is very obvious. Though this is very obvious, due to our mentality, it's difficult for us to understand. Or though we understand, though we don't realize it. Even if we realize, we don't act upon it. That is the problem. It's a very simple truth, but if you hear it from somebody else, the degree to which you understand this is greater. So I'm going to tell it narrate it and explain it in the way that I can, so you will learn about it. Well, that's regarding ourselves. Just let's look at some examples. If you look at the entrepreneurs that we admire, whether you like them or not, when you read those stories about them, you realize the amount of effort that you put in, that they put into their work, their companies, and look at the development that they have gained or the success they have achieved. If you measure the success in those metrics, if not, okay. Now we just discuss how the contributions that we make towards ourselves, if you are a student, or if you're having any other goal like building your body, how it would contribute. No, that's by working or contributing towards ourselves. But you would ask, then what about the professional achievements that we make? And what about if you're building a business, like doing a job? Would that relate? Would the same concept be applied? Yes, of course. The contributions that you make towards any commitment, it can be your professional life, it can be a relationship, it can be towards your community, everything counts to the same argument. The amount of rewards that you gain or the outcome is really proportional to the contribution that you make. Let's look at an example of a teacher. So I have been a teacher before I started my master's, and I know the results and rewards the way I get it. So if a student is struggling with a subject, if that particular teacher takes extra time to sit with the student and works with him, try to explain the theory parts, motivate him, and if there's any other problem, try to solve the problem. Maybe he would be having issues with his family or her family, and any other problem he would have struggling with the classmates, so that he cannot concentrate on what he's learning. So if the teacher try to have a holistic approach and travel the extra mile for the student would be getting a higher grade, or the outcome of the student, the performance of the student will increase, will develop, will be strengthened. That's what a teacher wants by being a teacher. So the entire outcome of a teacher lies on the performance of the student. So if the performance of the student increases, that's the reward that the teacher gets. Within a very simple example. And imagine you are having a company, a small startup or a small business. If you can travel the extra mile to give a good customer service to the customers that you get, without just sticking onto your routine or schedules, if you can travel the extra mile, be good to them, try to solve their problems, promptly respond to them, what will be the outcome? If you can travel the extra mile and if you can dedicate more time, the amount of customers that you gain, or the trust that you build in the customers will be strengthened. The consumers will rise, which will benefit the business ultimately. So you can see from these basic examples that the simple concept of the rewards that you gain is exactly in proportion to the contribution that you made is well understood. But again, I'm trying to remind you, dear friends, when we think it for ourselves, it's difficult for us to realize that. So I'm trying to iterate this over and over again and tell you, if you want higher rewards, make a higher contribution. So there's this saying that I want to quote. It's regarding a business, but it explains the same concept. It says, you can have everything that you need in life if you will just help enough other people to get what they want. This directly relates to businesses. The reward that you gain is proportional to the value that you create. So businesses is all about creating value. If you can create higher value in the market, the amount of rewards that you gain is higher. So if you want examples, there are so many examples that we can look at from the recent past, the current scenario, like the companies that develop, creates immense value in their own right to their customers. So again, going back to our example of the farmer, we can relate that the farmer who sowed the entire bag of seeds get a higher harvest. Well, now we can understand that the amount of rewards, whether it is to ourselves, whether it is to somebody else, it can be again the business, the community, the relationship, in whatever we hope for, would create higher benefits, higher rewards if we can contribute to a higher degree. But then we have a problem. It's true that we can do this, but how are we going to enter to make more contributions? That's a problem. It's true that you have to make contributions, but how are we going to do it? So in the first part, I was giving you some details about dedication, about spending extra time on the work that you do. That's true. But also there are some other aspects that we can look into to make our contribution greater. Number one is going beyond the comfort zone. Let's look at this example. You know this famous couple of Wright brothers. They had this bicycle workshop. Had they been in the bicycle workshop, been very comfortable, earning what they wanted, we would not have the aeroplane that they made. And the shift towards aeronautics would not have happened in the way that happened. It would have happened in some other way, but not through the Wright brothers. And so if we try to settle in the comfort zone and admire the mediocrity, what will happen is our rewards will just mirror our choice. So if you think, okay, so the level that I am in is very comfortable and I'm happy with it, yes, you are good. But if you worry about your status, or if you yearn for something greater, then definitely you should travel beyond your comfort zone. Try to push yourself to achieve the greatness, to more learning, spending more time on what you want, mastering a new skill, and putting yourself in very uncomfortable situations. It doesn't mean that you have to do harm to yourself, but it's difficult for us to be uncomfortable. So you have to be comfortable in becoming uncomfortable. Every challenge that you accept, every skill that you try to master will elevate yourself towards greatness. Well, the other thing is trying to convert the challenges into opportunity. So you know that vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change. So there is this immense inherent characteristic of humans. When you are vulnerable, when you are in greater danger, it's when you make your greatest effort. I told you in one of the videos how, with my recent example about the computational fluid dynamic class and the other very difficult statistic class, I had to give my fullest effort. I was so vulnerable because if I had not gained that grade, that would have created so many problems within my degree, within my assistantship, maybe even my visa, because if we don't get good grades, we can even lose our studentship status, which is really bad. So when we are vulnerable, we try to be more creative, put more effort, and work towards what we want to achieve. So dear friends, once again, try to increase the contribution that you make. Try to go beyond your comfort zone. Try to accept challenges and turn those challenges into opportunities. By doing so, the degree to which you make contributions will increase and your rewards will increase. So finally, if you want to learn more about these concepts, there are so many books like The Go-Giver by Bob Burge and The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and also there is a good book by Adam Grant, Give and Take. So if you are a giver, you will receive more. Well, so dear friends, remember your rewards in life always be in exact proportion to your contribution. So in your career, in your community, in your relationship, in your personal life, your passion, your creativity, your empathy will flourish if you can make good contributions. Simply, the contribution will be your flag that you could hoist towards your journey of greatness. So go forth and contribute. And if you have a similar experience, please remember to comment down below. So stay happy. Let's meet in the next video.